is the film that received the top 3 nominations of the 84th TA Awards because the elaborate action scenes are done by supercomputers. If you use a normal computer, you will have to live about 10,000 years, working continuously, without rest can complete the effect. The film has become the highest-grossing film of all time. When it's released, everyone, please join me in watching the movie Robot Transforms Part 3 to see what it's so great about. In the final days of Civil War, a super robot on a faraway planet honors the evil that carries the race's last hope of survival, piloted by the great pond leader named Sen no Cam, who is escaping war. However, the ship was hit by a rocket and lost in the endless space of the universe. In 1961, the ship collided with the journey to bring out the banyan tree. The space of the turbulent should fall into the lunar cavity and mistake the dark side of the moon. The collision was quickly discovered by scientists on Earth, fearing that the Soviet Union would beat them to find the unidentified object. Recently, the President of the United States of Kenya authorized a mission to investigate under the guise of sending people to the moon by NASA. 8 years later, the Apollo 11 space shuttle successfully landed on the moon. The astronauts quickly approached and explored the evil spaceship, then brought samples and images back to Earth for study. So far, although science and technology has developed a lot, but there has not been another space shuttle that has brought humans to the moon, and many people believe that Apollo is actually just a great trick of the United States to become the world's largest moon. Currently, the US are still coordinating with the Special Task Force to track and destroy the remaining foresters at that time. A major in the Ukrainian army announced that something unusual was happening around Nudor nuclear disaster area occurred immediately. Chili Brain and soldiers led by Captain Cudian entered the radioactive area to check. Inside the factory, people discovered a fuel cell fragment from a Russian spacecraft. Suddenly they were attacked by a surprise by a Sepshorn with the body of a huge trendy drilling robot moving outside when it crashed and squealed in the sky. Angered, he transformed and carried the goods. They gave chase, but he was able to cut off a tentacle of the drill robot, causing it to use apparition to retreat. At this time, Jian still hasn't stopped panicking when he witnessed the monster with his own eyes after the Battle of the Heart. Discovering shocking news that was trying to steal a part of the long-lost Bashpan spaceship, and the major in the Ukrainian army was quickly ranked by an assassin who went to the jungle. Meanwhile, our male lead is living with a very beautiful and hot new girlfriend named Kali. In addition, there are also 2 super disruptive mini-boots. After saving the Earth twice, Sam is still struggling to apply for a job because his application is too terrible. All relationships with senior leaders to the president, so no one dares to accept. Also, playing with the alien robots, if it makes it muddy, it will drag all the robots to destroy the company. Finally, after many efforts, he was also accepted to work in a space telecommunications company. However, this old director has a compulsive disorder. As long as the employee uses a red and yellow glass of water in the office, he will be fired. Returning to the top-secret headquarters, Opti angrily demanded an explanation from the director of the intelligence agency about the discovered fuel cell piece. She was forced to admit the true intentions of the United States in a hurry. Send people to the moon to explore alien ships. In 1969, in order to find more clues, he and his teammates quickly flew to the moon. In a secret room, they find the petty body of the great leader of the serfs and males. The pillar has the ability to teleport a giant planet to another place at the same time. The defeated Megaton is hiding in a place without water waiting for the day of revenge, and my subordinate Rim happily reports that his brain Vifam had already fallen into a trap when he found the great leader Autobot on the moon. The other side went to the Kali to announce the good news when he happened to meet her boss, the lover named Dai Lan at that time. The male lead felt like he was a few inches taller when he discovered many pictures of him and his lover together. In addition, when he was still young, Kali went to his house party and gave him a gift. She has a frosty circuit of $200,000 to buy this car. It takes 15 years to go to other countries to get enough money to fight a rich guy now? The most painful thing is that he himself introduced the job to Sam. All his work in the space telecommunications company is just delivering parcels and then encountering the monstrosity. He takes Sam into the bathroom and gives him some top-secret information about the dark side of the moon under the warning that the rough pawns are in danger. Not long after, he was killed by the killer robot by being pushed down from above. It continues to transform into a printer and intends to kill Sam to seal the clue. As the main character, Sam miraculously survived. He quickly ran out of the building and drove his girlfriend to the location where the Special Task Force was stationed. The Star Soldier brought the whole story and great information of his ill-fated colleague Gia to the director of the CIA. However, she did not believe it and sarcastically said that he was just an ordinary person, fortunate to have met the big pawns. At that time, Fashion Sense also brought Seno Leader from the moon to Earth. Then used Leader Front to revive him. As soon as he woke up, the leader asked about the metal pillars he created. The bots said they found 5 inside the evil spaceship. The leader said that it takes hundreds of such pillars to open a portal of space and time interpolation. At this time, the manager ordered Bai Meal to bring Sam home. But he always felt that something was wrong, because the actions of the group were very smooth without being hindered by the foresters. Before that, he had carefully copied a colleague's confidential information, so he wanted to ask for help from the former car agent, who is now a famous book writer on transforming robots. Despite having been promised never to meddle in government affairs again, but before the top-secret information, Sam promised to provide him, so he went to the male lead to find out. Through the false secret file showing all the secrets, the people involved in the dark side of the moon were all dead or, more accurately, assassinated. Suddenly, Brother Lee returned home, causing the tragedy to suddenly drop in front of the lamp. She expressed anger when she discovered that her lover was still involved in those cyborg love affairs. Because she had lost her brother in the war with the reviewers, she only wanted Salmon to stay on guard. Don't be a hero to save the world anymore, but Sang disagrees because if the earth fades, how will the two live peacefully? The disagreement has caused the two's feelings to crack and lead to the separation of Lee. I'd rather be a rich ghost than live in poverty. I don't know if there's a future without this moth, there's another way. Sam went to a pub to find former Russian cosmonauts living in exile to ask. They explained that before the Americans set foot on the moon, when robbing Russian satellites, hundreds of metal nuggets were discovered like the 5 that were just found. And the sleuths had taken away almost all of them. That number of metal poles. However, in order to activate these metal pillars to open the space portal, it is necessary to have a long-standing Lotus leader who recognizes the evil tuber when reporting to the CIA director to know that they want to force rough pawns. Revived the caravan to teleport something to Earth, then quickly set off to return to the base to reunite with everyone, but before he could go far, his convoy was raided by 3 guys. Gradually became a type of monster simulation. They chase, causing a series of cars on the highway to be damaged. The guy immediately transformed into a boot and used a chain to hold a monster so that the bullets could destroy it. The other 2 saw this and attacked the cars in front to block the road. They borrow. When he was about to crash into the truck carrying the artificial smiles, he immediately transformed to avoid the collision and promptly caught it and brought it inside. At this time, the male lead was so scared, his face was pale without a drop of blood, and he rushed out from the headquarters and crashed into 2 monsters disguised as cars. The police then transform and intend to recreate a wild Mexican-style gunfight for the audience to see. However, the group put down their weapons to play a duel for blood type. Although the grouping side gradually played dirty, using weapons to sneak attacks, they were still quickly fertilized by large pawns and destroyed. Returning to the base, San hurriedly asked Captain Hoyla to protect No. That was the crux of the matter. But what did not surprise us was that this leader joined hands with the village of Mega to rebuild the planet of the skunk. Everyone, then run into the base. Destroy the whole place, then steal the 5 iron pillars and leave. By the time my heart returns, it's too late. The board of directors of Zhaya criticized all this because the grandparents went there. Sen No brought 5 iron pillars to Lin Khan Monument to prepare to activate the space gate with the evil robot Mega in the village of T-Mo quickly showing up to prevent it. But he already activated it. The Venetians who were hiding on the moon woke up and jumped through the portal to teleport to Earth. Special task force Strokes and other large pawns are also present to destroy them. Seeing that the enemy was too large and dangerous, his mind ordered the entire team to retreat. And he rushed to fight Seno, but was soon defeated by him. However, his fashion sense was spared because he wanted him to see his plan to revive his father's car on the other side to find Dee's mansion. Last time out of fear for Callie's life. Seeing that the damaged furnace was about to be robbed by a guy under a girl's teeth, he immediately revealed his true nature. It turned out that he had worked for the reviewers before. So he tried to approach the beauty to get information from her. The couple quickly drove the car out of this place. But it quickly transformed into a guy who lined up and took Lee as a hostage to threaten Sam. The male lead tried to rush to save his lover but failed. Once attached to his hand a high-tech device capable of brain synchronization with him. He wants you to become a spy to understand the plans of the big pawns. If Shaw protested or deliberately let the pawns know this, his and his lover's life would be threatened. At the United Nations headquarters, the heads of state receive an encrypted message in the voice of the motorcycle. He asked mankind to banish huge pawns from the Earth. Otherwise will be destroyed when the bot cars are about to get on board. The shuttle leaves. Sang tries to secretly warn. Opportune but surprisingly he said that he has no plan to counterattack at all. And it was very painful to say goodbye to the boy. But before the space shuttle was still out of the Earth's atmosphere, it was suddenly attacked by my name Rim. The explosion made everyone believe that the entire Robota team could not survive, due to the end of the use value. The high-tech device in Sam's hand turned into a robot and then left up here to enjoy calling to the card shows up because he thinks he has chosen the right side to win. Through that call, Sam quickly located the location where he had just brought the glass to. That is the tower of former President Trump in Chicago. At this time, he happily told the plan of the group to gradually arrange for the beauty to hear. They want to exploit the Earth's resources and turn people into slaves to revive the wrong. Because the distance between the two planets is too far, they want to use the space gate to bring the village closer to the Earth for convenient exploitation. Hundreds of columns. Metal pillars are placed all over the Earth and the other red pillar is central controller. At this point, their alliance began to show signs of cracking. Gently reminding the madam that he was just a me. I should not raise my voice in front of a great leader. Soon after, the army of forest scouts poured down and attacked the entire city of Chicago. They turned this place into a plain and brutally slaughtered the civilians. This is a scene that is hard to witness, but he still believes that with what he does, he will love it. The village station will use him when he joins the Special Forces group led by Williams, who still bravely rushed into the war to help innocent people. After a while, they were blown away by one of the reviewers. Those who couldn't run quickly were literally turned into dry skeletons by him. Thinking that everything would end here, Oxford suddenly appeared, destroying him. It turned out that he entered the other rough pawns having prepared a plan to surprise the enemy. The group secretly hid in the light of a propellant and then split up and fell into the ocean. Before the space shuttle blew up, they started dividing the work between people one by one. Sam and Baimei will fly an enemy warplane to rescue Callie. Meanwhile, the others will organize a counterattack on the city. Sam quickly flew to the penthouse and succeeded. Picking up their lover but not going far, they were suddenly attacked by a killer robot. The male lead tries to fight back and hold onto the enemy so that he can shoot his head off. Seeing that the situation was not clear, Megawa immediately called his subordinates to guard the carriage, and he arranged the last metal pillars. Meanwhile, the soldiers chose to move up a high-rise building and use the 1H link to destroy the metal pagoda. However, this plan was not successful. When they were discovered by the patrols, they immediately sent a giant robot and drilled to attack the building before the power of the monster. Soon the whole building was broken in half. Everyone panicked. How to run away? But how can they be most desperate when the brains with teeth full of teeth appear? He flew to attack the monster's tentacles consecutively, then gently cut off the main body of this ugly robot. On the other side, Sam and his lover were trying to run away when they met the lustful eyes of my name Kim. He tried to chase both of them but did not expect that the male lead shot a mouse. The mother got to the lifelines just in time before the bomb fell on the head of this nearby passerby. As soon as the metal pillars were in place, the carriages began to activate them to open the space portal, bringing the wrong planet to Earth. At this time, the insurgents had gathered near a place where the crude pawns were captured by the foresters, threatened to be nearby, and said that taking hostages was not part of his agreement with Mega Village. He wanted the Tobot pawns to be executed immediately. So a righteous warrior was murdered. At that moment, the debris of a flying ship fell, causing the enemy to walk off guard. Taking that opportunity, it was quite easy to fight back against the community and toss a guy who went to check the forest. Soldiers and other large pens quickly rushed to support the captives. After knowing that the enemy's weak point is the pair of soul windows, they can just aim at it and attack with all the fashion, and it's still far away from flying to shoot the already ugly girls. Sheeta also rushed to donate this blood. He turned around and slashed them like bananas, then unleashed a steel fist that made the shocked man smash his body. After defeating the soldiers, he used his cannon to break the red pillar, causing the portal to teleport space. Stopped, the caravan was angry that his plan was ruined and demanded to teach the boy a lesson. Meanwhile, C.A. Lee uses his beat dancing skills to incite a strong and cunning man in the village. Why are so many people kneeling as dogs for the enemy? The physiological secondary one. And Sam tried to climb up to the red metal snap, but the bastard was quicker to do so, reactivating the multiple command portal. Not allowed Sam Ayan to go right with the opponent. He slipped and fell on the pillar and was electrocuted to death on the spot. At that time, the ball rushed to destroy the red pillar, causing the whole planet to be destroyed. It turned into a supergiant black hole sucking the monsters inside, and the hamlet of Timo was now having fierce intercourse with the leader he once worshipped. However, the caravan was not the right type when it was easy to cut off an arm of Optimo. Just when he was about to kill his heart, the village, suddenly selling lotus swallows from behind, saved his life. Why didn't Megapixel wait a little while for the leader to kill the opium before joining the war? He proposed an armistice between the two factions as the head of the Big Pond did not accept it because as long as he lived, the Earth was still in danger. Mega saw this. Intending to use the gun to finish the trend, although he lost an arm, he was still able to dodge and attack the opponent. The battle quickly ended when the brain of the car smashed its head and pulled the backbone of the village maze out of its body. At this time, watch the fan begging for his life and saying that he only thinks about saving his homeland and has no intention of betraying his hot car when MOSV, he didn't betray me but he betrayed himself. Directly shot to death the caravan to avenge the sacrifice of his comrades with the movie Peace once again returns to the Earth. Everyone tries to fix the consequences after the battle. Because the planet is wrong, 3 villages have been destroyed, so Opti Fashion and other primitive pawns decided to choose the Earth as the second homeland to live in. The film ends here. Hello and see you all again.